Here are the best VR sports games to play in 2024. Teeing off our list, we have a couple of great golf games. Up first is Walkabout Mini Golf, which has absolutely dominated the sports simulation market. Here you are transported into vibrant mini golf worlds to either compete with your friends or just chill by yourself. I think what makes this game so popular since its release in 2020 is they're always bringing out new updates and courses to keep you entertained. The background music and ambience is also really nice and helps you remain calm when you miss those 3-foot putts. And while mini golf is great, sometimes you feel like absolutely spanking that ball. So Golf Plus on the Quest is going to be your go-to. And here you can play a full 18 holes just to find yourself out of bounds behind some rocks, just like real life. There are 3 difficulties to choose from, which will affect various levels of aim assist and putting lines, so you can work your way up here. There's also a shop to upgrade your clubs, and then you'll have nothing to blame but yourself for those bad shots. And this is so much fun to play with friends, especially if you live abroad from each other, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite games. Both of these golf games are greatly improved by golf handles, and I'll leave a link in the description to the one I'm using for the Quest 2 and Quest 3. VR golf might not give you that dream physique, so let's crank up the intensity bit with boxing. And up first we have the best boxing pad simulator, PUNCHFIT. Here you can choose from a variety of different drills where you'll be given different combinations of punches and dodges. Tracks range from just a few minutes to 30, so it's suitable for all fitness levels. And the best part is it's completely free. Now that you've learned the basic combos, we have the absolute classic 7 years old and still king of VR boxing, Thrill of the Fight. This game is by far the most realistic boxing simulator out there and will have you dripping in sweat in no time. Last year they brought mixed reality to the Quest, which was long overdue because I'm sure the amount of broken television sets are in their thousands by now. With this one, it's just you and 10 of the characters to work through, but they have a load of different settings you can tweak to ensure you're entertained for ages. If you haven't got your taste of combat satisfied yet, then check out this sword fighting game called Broken Edge. This plays out like a 1v1 duel, almost similar to fencing, so I figured it would be fair to include in the sports list. But here you take on the role of different sword fighters throughout history and duel your opponent. Now there's quite a bit to this game and it has a very high skill ceiling and ranked PvP system, but long story short, get past the tutorial. I highly recommend picking up the night class and sticking the pointy thing towards your opponent. The Quest version also supports MR for this. If swords aren't your thing, then how about a paddle? Kayak Mirage is a fantastic way to unwind after a long day of doing cool. Actually, it's not. I was surprised at how much of an intense arm and shoulder workout this is, but the visuals are absolutely stunning, so you can either just kayak around and enjoy the scenery, or have an adrenaline-filled and very frustrating race. It tracks how far you paddle each day, month, and year, and is a very popular choice to return to. If you're not done with the water, then how about spending some time in real VR fishing? This one's really fun, and they have a load of features, but the one that I appreciated the most was their in-game music player, so I could play Sounds of the Shire and have a good time fishing. There's also a leveling and currency system to feel a sense of progression by unlocking new locations and equipment, and of course multiplayer to enjoy the companies of others. Now racket sports seem to translate so well to the virtual world, and up first is a brand new game, Racket Club. This is kind of a mix between tennis and pickleball and works perfectly for VR. You play singles, doubles, and there's a full social aspect to this game. But what I like most about this is that there's a scaling point system. So the longer the rally goes on, the more points it's worth. And it kind of feels right that those really long and intense battles can be worth up to 5 points, whereas if you just mess up a serve, it's only 1. And if we are talking the most realistic sports simulator, another on Thrill of the Fight's level is 11 table tennis. And this game absolutely slaps. This game has been around for a while now, but still amazes people, including myself, just how realistic the physics feel. From spin shots to slams, 11 table tennis has it all. I also saw one of the reviews on the Metastore where someone's mum was using it to play with their son who lives far away, and I just found that really wholesome. And finally in the racket section, we have Padel VR. Now full disclosure, I've never played Padel in real life, but from what I've experienced in VR, it seems like it's a pretty accurate representation. It's free in the App Lab right now as it's still in early access, but is a great way to learn a new game that all your favorite Formula 1 drivers seem to talk about. It takes some getting used to, especially the movement, and if the ball goes behind you and bounces off the fence, it just feels a little bit weird. And while you can pay $3 to unlock some more content like mini games, I found the free passing drill to be more than enough fun. You might have noticed that those same controller handles work well for kayaking and racket sports as well. Keeping with the theme of being free, next one is one of the most popular free VR games out there, which is Gym Class. It's a blend of a social and basketball simulator. This one took me a while to pick up, but I highly recommend going through the tutorial, tutorial, and please shoot with one hand instead of two like I did for way too long. The downside is matchmaking is locked behind a paywall, but you can just join courts manually and dunk on some strangers. Les Mills has teamed up with Otis Lab once again and come out with another banger, but this time in dance. And now you have not only 2 but 5 Kiwis cheering you on and coaching you on how to dance. I wasn't really sure if dance is a sport, but make no mistake, this is very physically demanding and competitive with its multiplayer scoring. I was a bit concerned going into this since I can't dance and probably shouldn't be allowed to dance in public, but it's presented in such a noob-friendly way that even if you miss a few or frankly most of the beats, it still feels rewarding and fun, which is by far the most important. Yoga VR. Okay, and this one is definitely pushing it to be included in the sports category, but as we get older, sports injuries are more and more common, and unfortunately that goes the same for VR sports. So make sure you're limber with Yoga VR. It's great for beginners like me or even more advanced practitioners to get their daily stretching in and reap the benefits of yoga. Now, doing yoga in VR might sound a little bit weird, but thanks to mixed reality, it's actually great. Not only can you see the pose in front of you and kind of step into it, but if you do it in front of a mirror, you actually get quite good feedback on how you're doing. Right now they have 4 difficulties and are adding more, and I practiced this for 30 days and improved my forward fold by 15 centimeters. Go me. Now, probably the most anticipated game for me personally this year is Thrill of the Fight 2, and I can't wait to see what Ian Fitz will do teamed up with Half Brick Studio. Multiplayer is confirmed, and if we can see even a slight improvement on the base game, I think we might have the best sports, fitness, and maybe even VR game in general of the year on our hands. And the final game of this list is All-in-One Sports VR. This lets you enjoy 13 different sports in one VR experience. From volleyball to archery to boxing, they've got you covered. You can also customize your avatar and compete with other players online and multiplayer. And while each sport won't go quite into depth with their gameplay or physics as the dedicated games listed before this, All-in-One Sports is a great way to try out different sports and see which one you like the most. Think of it as Wii Sports but for VR. Bit of a random one, but last year I actually ended up representing Singapore in a VR boxing competition for this. And if you want, you can check that out here. See you next time.